Hey, once again, everyone, it is Tuesday evening, the 18th day of August here in 2020. What an 18th day of August it was today. A fine day, a terrific Tuesday, if you will, and we've got fantastic weather coming up for the next couple of days, even a little September preview for the next 36 hours. Let's start out this evening with a time-lapse video from our Youngstown camera. This is on the south side of Youngstown on our transmitter tower, perched way up there. Great views of sunrises and sunsets from this camera. We had a great sunrise this morning with a little shallow fog, and then a decent amount of cumulus clouds did bubble up as we headed towards lunchtime into the afternoon today, but those cumulus clouds collapsed pretty quickly as we got into the late afternoon and evening, leaving us with just a few passing cirrus clouds for the rest of the afternoon. Well, the dry air is here, that is for sure. It feels great outside. Dew points spiked into the lower 60s this morning, but they have backed off into the 40s in most of the area this evening. And anytime we have dew points in the 40s in meteorological summer, hey, that's a bargain that for most of us is quite a welcome sight. 47 the current dew point as of 7:23 at the Youngstown Ward Airport in Vienna, and the dry air has penetrated down to about the lower Ohio River Valley, and this dry air with a mostly clear sky overhead tonight means that temperatures will cool very, very quickly. Not so cool out west, though, with the continued excessive heat in much of the west. We talked about this last evening with the record-setting temperature on Sunday in Death Valley, California, where it was 130, 127 yesterday. Haven't seen yet what their high was today, but I'm sure it was in the mid-120s in Death Valley, and in places that, yes, it's supposed to be hot in August. This relentless heat wave continues. It is excessively hot even by the standards of the western U.S. Back here at home, we did have a nice breeze today, and that's also a nice thing to have in August because from an averages standpoint or a climatological standpoint, August is our least windy month of the year. July, August, September, that's the kind of the 3 months of the year we have the least amount of wind traditionally. As we get into fall, of course, we see more and more wind, and our windiest time of the year tends to be mid to late winter and early spring from December through at least late March and early April as well. All right. One of the ways I'm trying to coax some rain to come back to our area is, talk about rain gauges. I've got a couple of rain gauges at home, but you can make one of these very simply. And this is kind of a cool activity, even if you don't have kids. But if you do have kids, great way to show them some simple science and a little quarantine science experiment, if you will. Something cool to show them. Making a rain gauge at home is as simple as finding a 2-liter bottle, cutting the top off, and also marking up some masking tape. Get a ruler, put the masking tape beside the ruler, and mark off 1 inch or even half-inch increments, however you want to do it. And then you're going to tape up that masking tape onto the side of your bottle, flip the cut-off lid over. That becomes kind of your funnel, and then you're about ready to go. You can set this outside and make sure it's secure and not going to blow over. Maybe put a little water in the bottom of it below your 0-inch marker to keep it from tipping over. You want a little weight on the bottom. And every time we have a rain event, measure the rain and then dump it out so it's back to 0 for the next time we have rain coming in. The more rain gauges out there, the better for us. We like having as many observations as possible. The more people that have rain gauges and can tell us exactly how much rain fell in their location, that really helps us out when it comes to talking about our local weather at this time of the year. Hopefully we'll have some rain in those rain gauges by this weekend, but none over the next few days, and that includes tomorrow, a bright, sunny, beautiful September-like day. But be careful, of course, it's still August, the sun is still high in the sky. The sun angle at this time of the year is roughly equivalent to late April, and so the UV index is about an 8. That means you can burn in 15 to 25 minutes. So if you are working outdoors, playing outdoors, exerting yourself outdoors on Wednesday, despite it being pretty comfortable outside, just use some common sense and take some precautions. Tonight, into tomorrow morning, some of our coolest weather that we've had since mid-June. It's been since mid-June since most locations have been as cool as 50, 51 degrees. I think some backyards will be in that neighborhood tomorrow morning. Again, bright and sunny for most of the day. Maybe a little river valley fog tomorrow morning. And then after highs in the mid-70s tomorrow, even cooler tomorrow night. I think there's going to be some 47s and 48s showing up on some local thermometers. Thursday morning, that is going to feel like, again, a little more like September rather than mid-August. And then a warmer day coming up on Thursday, and while the dew points will stay low and in the comfortable range into Friday. It is going to warm up at the end of the week. We've got mid-80s now in the forecast for the end of the week. We'll also be in the mid-80s over the weekend, and it's going to turn muggy over the weekend. And with that return of the moisture and a little weather disturbance, a little upper-level disturbance pivoting through, yeah, there could be a real spotty shower or a thunderstorm both Saturday and Sunday. I don't think the weekend is any sort of a washout at this stage of the game, but yes, there could be a shower or a thunderstorm in just a couple of spots. What I did want to do is talk about the longer range sum on this video. This is yesterday's run of the European kind of medium range to long range forecast. When I show you this, I always tell you, always take long range modeling with a grain of salt, but we're going to show you what it is advertising. And when we look at the overall pattern across North America as we roll through the second half of August, the heat remains bottled up mostly in the west. It looks pretty warm here, but the high heat will remain out west. I don't see a lot of 90-degree days coming our way anytime real soon. And as we roll forward to September, I don't see a lot of changes in the large-scale pattern. Generally, the ridging will be centered in the Rocky Mountain states into the Plain states, which means the jet stream configuration here overhead will be mostly a northwesterly kind of a flow. And while that won't be a super cool-looking pattern, it'll keep most of the high heat at bay. Safe money these days is on a warm September. We've had 5 in a row now. I'm not going to be surprised if this September is very, very similar. And as far as precipitation goes, we need the rain, and unfortunately the pattern as we roll forward does not look all that promising. With that northwest flow I talked about at the jet stream level, not only is that a not super hot pattern, but it's also a pattern that's not going to produce a lot of systems that draw in some Gulf moisture and produce copious amounts of rain. So you see that advertised here on the European model through September. A lot of browns across the Midwest Ohio Valley and into the Northeast as well. Not to say we won't see any rain. Yes, we'll see some rain, but I don't see any sort of a wet pattern becoming likely if this modeling is to be believed, and I think it's probably onto the right idea. I don't see a wet pattern emerging anytime real soon. Thank you for watching the Tuesday evening weather for Weather Geeks. I'll see you back here on Wednesday. Have a great rest of your Tuesday night and bundle up tomorrow morning.